Are you serious? Are you serious? Why did the world ignore Boko Haram and those horrible attacks in which they killed 2,000 Nigerians, approximately the same time that the radical Islamic Muslim militants in Paris killed the 17? The media coverage has focused on Paris and its terror attacks last week, but there were 2,000 Nigerians were reportedly murdered by Islamic militants. What makes one massacre more newsworthy than the other? Well, according to The Guardian, France spent the weekend coming to terms with last week's terror attacks, which was horrible, and we know this, in Paris, that left 17 people dead. The country mourned, and the global leaders joined an estimated 3.7 million people on the streets to march in the show of unity. But in Nigeria, another crisis was unfolding. As reports came through, an estimated 2,000 casualties after an attack by Boko Haram. These militants on the town of Baga in the northeastern state of Borno. Now, Amnesty International described the terror group's deadliest massacre to date, and the local defense group said they had given up counting the bodies and that were left lying in the streets. The reporting in northern Nigeria is notoriously difficult. Journalists have been targeted by Boko Haram, and unlike in Paris, people on the ground are isolated, struggling with access to the internet and other communications. Attacks by Boko Haram have disrupted connections, further meaning that there is an absence of an online community able to share the news, photos, or videos, and reports of news as it unfolds. But reports of the massacre were coming through, and as the world's media focused on the attention in Paris, some questioned why events in Nigeria were almost ignored. On Twitter, there were different comments made. How shameful, how awful, how horrendous this terrible tragedy was. My heart goes out. I have spoken about Boko Haram and what they have done with the kidnapping of these young Christian schoolgirls and the slaughter of the innocent civilians of Nigeria over the last now almost 2 years. I've repeatedly brought up the atrocities and the persecution, especially on Christians in Nigeria, but not just Christians. Muslims also have fallen in the streets by this radical Islamic group. It is certainly a time of great sorrow. And the Bible said that we would hear of wars, rumors of wars, but it also talks of great sorrows. I think I'm to the point. Now, I could go on a rant why I think the media won't cover it. We could go down a lot of rabbit holes here. But ultimately, the media doesn't want to start to build a case that radical Islam has become a worldwide problem. You also notice there was not a lot, there's been coverage, certainly, out of what came out of Iraq and Syria and the tremendous slaughter that's going on there as well by ISIS. But it's coming down to this, folks. We are living in the last days. We are living in the days of sorrow. And woe to the inhabitants of the earth. And oh, by the way, I wish I could tell you this is about over and it's going to start getting better. But in the world you'll have trouble, Jesus said, but in me you'll have peace. And so this is where we're at. We're coming down to the end. The last days is upon us. I want you to pray for these people in Nigeria. Please pray for them. What a horrible, horrible thing they're going through. But this is not the end of it all, folks. Unfortunately, it's just the beginning. of sorrows. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Matthew 24 tells you exactly how it's going to go down. We're running out of time.